What's up, man? This is HutcH, and welcome to my channel. You know what I'm saying? Brand new channel. I doubt that you've seen any of my videos before. But what I want to do right now, man, not to be a typical content creator who just reacts to stuff, right? I want to give context to why I'm reacting to the stuff that I'm reacting to. A little about me real quick. 33, 90s baby, obviously. And throughout my life, I've been on a journey of self-awareness. At least that's what I've come to realize. That this whole life of mine, these past 33 years, and maybe it's due to the, symbology of the number 33. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your personal beliefs is, and I'm not here to offend anybody about their personal beliefs. I'm actually on a journey of belief, period. I grew up Christian, I grew up in the church, and I grew up with a certain set of beliefs. And as I've grown in this life and the older I've gotten, the more my beliefs have been shaken, the more the foundation of my beliefs have been shaken, and the more that I've had to strip and get rid of a lot of beliefs. And the more I've added beliefs, and the more I've taken away beliefs, and the more I've just been, the ups and downs and the testing of my beliefs caused me to question everything, caused me to go on this journey of self-discovery, self-awareness. It caused me to question everything and to say, you know what, I want to know what the truth is. Plain and simple. So that's why I'm here today, man. I love self now. I love everything about the self, not necessarily myself. I do love myself, but not necessarily myself, but the self, period, the ego. What makes, how do we master self? Because I hate to feel like I have no self-control over myself. So anyway, I seen this video pop up on my feed, and the title just stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? And it says exactly how I script and manifest my desires. I have been studying how to manifest and all of that. My personal belief is, I think it's true and real that you can manifest a desired reality whether you are aware of it or not. That's why I'm going back full circle. That's why I'm big on mastering self, because I hate to feel like I'm manifesting a lot of bad stuff and, a lot of negativity in my life because I refuse to be a victim. At 33 years old, I refuse to be a victim. Even if my feelings are justified, like, oh, woe is me, or why is this happening to me? Man, I'm a good person. I do so much stuff for everybody and anybody, and so why am I not reaping the benefits? Why am I not seeing the fruits of my labor? I refuse to be a victim, because what I realize is I could still be manifesting all of those bad scenarios unknowingly, and that thought right there drives me crazy. But that's the paradox of self-awareness. But anyway, I still want to learn more about different perspectives on manifesting, because I truly want to master myself, my inner world, so that my outer world can reflect it. As above, so below, right? Yeah. So anyway, let's get into the video, man.
Today, I will break down to you exactly how I manifest things into my life. From my scripting, to my embodying the energy as if I already have it, to the detachment from my desire. With my background in science, I was definitely skeptical of the law of attraction first. And it was only when I started to consciously manifest things into my life and they actually came true, is when I truly grew my faith in the law of attraction. So even if you don't fully believe in it yet in the beginning, watch this video and I'll explain you exactly how to manifest things and grow your faith in the law of attraction. Grow your faith in the law of attraction. So my name is...
All right, before she get into it, my first time hearing about the law of attraction probably was when that movie / documentary The Secret came out. I don't want to get my facts wrong, but I think I seen The Secret maybe 2008 or 9, maybe 2007. So I was still in high school. I didn't graduate high school until 2009. So I think The Secret was the first spark of self-awareness for me, because I was thinking to myself, like, I was always drawn to mysteries, mythology, metaphysical stuff, fantasy, sci-fi, you know, nonfiction. I was always drawn to this type of stuff growing up, but that didn't necessarily correlate to all this new age stuff. That didn't necessarily correlate to self-awareness. That was just my interest with my innocence and my ignorance. I was like, damn, I'm always drawn to fantasy and mythology and all of this stuff. It was also a form of escapism to take me away. If anything, it was opposite of self-awareness, because I was trying to escape my reality of growing up in the hood and being from where I was from and not being able to be what I felt inside, but I wasn't aware of it. So I was trying to escape. That's why I was always drawn to this type of stuff. So when I first saw the documentary The Secret in high school, I think that really sparked my self-awareness journey, for the simple fact I wasn't aware that I wasn't self-aware. I wasn't aware of self-awareness. So now that I watched it and I'm in high school, now I'm aware of self-awareness. It's just the beginning stage. It's the fool's journey. I still had to go through the journey, the path to self-awareness. So as I grew and started experiencing more life, now, you know, my baby level self-awareness was shown and displayed as, oh, I'm just taking mental notes of everything that's going on around me. Still don't make sense of it, but now I'm finally in the moment. But I'm like, it's like I'm going through high school. I went through high school like, oh, okay, taking mental notes of high school while I'm experiencing high school. I'm still experiencing it. I'm still going with the flow. I still don't have a mature level of self-awareness, because I'm just going with the flow of high school. But at the same time, after watching The Secret, now I have slight self-awareness of where I'm taking mental notes of every single thing that's happening around me. Still have no power and control, but yeah, I'm saying it because, you know, she was talking about, you know, to help grow your faith in manifesting. I think now that's where I'm at now in my journey. I'm trying to now have faith. It's like, okay, I gathered all of this data. I took all of these notes from when I first saw The Secret in high school, you know what I'm saying, when I was a teenager. And as my self-awareness has been growing, my frustrations have been growing too, because the more prevalent the word manifesting is in today's vocabulary of society as a whole, the more I start to realize that, oh, I've known about manifesting this whole time since I was a teenager. So now that I feel like, okay, yeah, I've been knowing about manifesting since before it's been popular, before the world has been talking about it. Now the frustration is, well, hell, I've been doing everything they say that you're supposed to do when you manifest, so why I haven't seen anything come to reality? Oh, this shit must be fake. Oh, this is all bullshit. Because I don't believe in none of this. And then now, after I go through that phase, now it's like, you know what? Nah, that's kind of immature. Let me take a step back. Let me go back and reflect and review. And now let me take a different approach to try to grow my faith in manifesting. So, let's continue with the video. My bad.
So my name is Davy. I am a PhD student in chemical engineering at the University of Cambridge, and in my free time I love to study things about psychology, the law of attraction, quantum physics of manifestation, and I want to bring science and self-development together, which actually have a lot of overlap. Now, how do you actually practically manifest things into your life? How have I done that for myself? That's what today's video is about. The video consists of 3 parts. First of all, I'll explain to you how I do my scripting. Secondly, I'll explain to you how I embody embody the energy of my desire. And thirdly, how I detach from my desire in order to receive. The first step in manifestation is expressing your desire. And the most effective way to do this is through scripting in perhaps a journal. If you don't have a journal yet, buy a journal. This is going to be part of your magic recipe. Now, how do you actually script things? How do you write?
That's crazy. So first, they say when you're trying to manifest, it's good, like she just said, it's good to journal things. It's good to have some type of diary, some type of something to write it down, whether it's a vision board or whatever. And these are things, if you're not new to the world of new age and manifesting all of that, these are things that we've heard time and time again. And a lot of us, including myself, I'm at work, but I have 2 journals full of ideas and stuff that I be trying to, I write down a lot of my ideas and dreams and goals. So a lot of us have no problem with this first step of scripting. A lot of us have no problem doing it. We write it down and we hear the concepts and ideas of, if you want to manifest something to the physical, the best first step way of doing it is to physically write it out, right? Put the ideas into the 3D realm by putting it on physical paper. So a lot of us have done that before. I have a lot of old journals at home full of dreams and ideas and stuff that I wanted to manifest from years ago. I'm talking about 5, 6, 8, 10-year-old journals at the house. And I'm not gonna lie, since none of those stuff have come to fruition yet, it made me feel like, man, it was all a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? And I had great conviction when writing those journals, writing those entries and all of that. But that's why we watching this video, how to do it the right way, how to script the right way, or not necessarily the right way, but how to tap into the intention behind it. Because a lot of times, especially if we're operating in our masculine energy, because I feel like everybody has masculine energy and feminine energy, but left brain, right brain, masculine energy is left brain, more logical. Obviously, I'm a man, so I'm naturally more masculine and I'm more in my left brain. And I feel like when it comes to manifesting, I know a lot of the women or people who operate out of feminine energy already know this, what I'm about to say, but I feel like the key to creating is first to be in touch with your feminine energy, the right brain energy, the creative, the imaginative energy. Logically speaking, I can sit here and list a lot of things that I want to desire, that I want to, a lot of my dreams and goals that our first root will appear to come from right brain. But what I've grown to realize is, no, I'm not necessarily tapped into the right brain. It's just I know how to logically comprehend and list out everything that I really want to desire. So yeah, sorry I drifted off on a tangent, but I'm also exposing my flaws and what I went through in terms of manifesting. You know what I'm saying? These are some of the pitfalls and the hiccups that I've experienced on my journey. That's why I'm trying to figure out, okay, how to tap into the right side, the feminine side of it, because I feel like ultimately how it's going to all work and actualize and materialize is when you combine both left brain and right brain. So yeah, let's keep going.
How do you write things down? What is important with the scripting is that you write down your desires in a way that makes you feel good. One good way to script is as if your desire...
Write it down in a way that makes you feel good. If it's any fellas watching, a lot of times, bro, we be so much in our masculine energy, our left brain energy, that we don't really associate feelings with actual feelings. To us, logic is feeling, right? But man, we gotta just write out what actually we need to dig deep inside, and really ask ourselves, okay, what makes us feel good? And allow ourselves to tap into that feminine energy. Or if you're too masculine and you don't want to feel too lost, like you don't want to lose your masculinity by trying to, maybe it's uncomfortable tapping to your feminine side. Look at it like this: tap into your inner child. because children is feminine energy as well, because children are always around the feminine energy of the motherly energy, right? Children are tended to by the mother, you know what I'm saying? But being a child isn't masculine or feminine in terms of identity. It's just the childlike spirit in whole. So if you don't feel comfortable tapping into your feminine side, tap into your inner child. Your inner child is still you. Your inner child is still masculine, but it's covered by the feminine. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to tap into your feminine side of trying to, you know, feel good or whatever that means to you. You feel me? Just tap into your inner child. Let your inner child run wild when it comes to manifesting. Even in the Bible, Jesus said you got to have childlike faith in order to enter to the kingdom. So if you're trying to manifest, tap into your inner child. Let your inner child imagination run wild, and write all that energy, write all those thoughts down. Because you remember what it was like to be a child and just have this wild, crazy imagination. Or you remember how it feels to be a child and watch your favorite cartoon or whatever. You remember what the peak of your inner child moment was that made you just feel like, oh, this is amazing. You remember what that feeling feel like. Tap into that energy when you're trying to manifest. And like she said, stay detached from it. Tap into it, write it down, and then stay detached. And like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot, be detached from it and wait to see what the results are.
Desire already happened. But there's no specific right or wrong here. You can also just write down, at this point in my life, in a year or in a month, I want this to happen. And that way it's still in the future tense. It is about what is believable to you. It is about what makes you feel good. And the most important thing is that the way you script generates the emotions as if that desire is true. One of my favorite ways to script, writing a letter to my future self as if all of my desires have come into fruition. So I would write, let's say for example, dear 26-year-old Davey, which would be me in 2 years, and I write, I'm so proud of you that you achieved this, I'm so happy that you now have this, look at you, you've done it. And then I imagine my future self reading that back as if it already happened.
That sounds a lot like the law of assumption. Real quick, because I'm gonna get back to the video, because I've done a lot of talking. But you know, when you first start this manifesting journey, the first law that you hear is the law of attraction. But when you do a deep dive into universal and spiritual laws, there's so many different laws: law of attraction, law of assumption, law of allowance, law of detachment. So yeah, that's crazy. But that sounds a lot like the law of allowance. Right into your future self. Oh, not the law of allowance. That sounds like the law of assumption. Right into your future self, assuming like, hey man, I'm so proud of you, bro, for making millions of dollars, $10 trillion, $5 billion. I'm so proud of you. You know what I'm saying? That sounds a lot like the law of assumption. So we're gonna take notes of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going.
Now that method really works for me, and it is a little bit subjective because that method is really convincing for me. I can actually picture myself reading it back because I've already manifested things into my life. So that is a method that makes me feel really good. But this is completely subjective for everyone. Now, what is important about the scripting as well is that you write about the feelings. You write about how does having the desire make you feel. And why is this feeling so important? The feeling is when you're tuning into your manifestation. Another tip for scripting.
Once again, fellas, or people who are operating out of their masculine side, if writing about your feelings make you feel uncomfortable because it feels too feminine for you, then an alternative approach is just writing from the perspective of your inner child. Let your inner child run wild. Because remember, your inner child is still attached to feminine energy. Naturally, it's governed. Your inner child is governed and ruled by the feminine energy. And not trying to be sexist in terms of universal laws and energies, but the feminine energy is governed by the masculine energy. And the masculine energy is governed by the creator, the universal energy. It's governed like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't feel comfortable getting in tune with your feelings, then just get in tune with your inner child.
Is that you don't always have to write down the exact details or worry about the how it's gonna happen. For example, if you're trying to manifest a dream job, you don't know exactly what this job would look like yet. You just don't know what it would exactly be. But you do know how it would make you feel, or what type of colleagues you would have, or how much you would earn, etc. You could write about those things. It is very important that you stick to scripting as detailed as makes you still feel good and is still believable for you. And it's not about making a plan of how to do it. It is about writing about the end goal, the end desire, and how that makes you feel. You script about already having the desire. It is not about making a plan or exactly specifying how you're gonna get there. It is just about expressing your desire and expressing what you want in your life and how you want it to make you feel. So for example, when we're trying to manifest a relationship or specific people in our life, we might not exactly know what these people would look like. It is not about them writing down all of the characteristic traits. It is about how do you want the person to make you feel? How do you want to be treated? What kind of dates do you want to go on? What kind of circumstances you want to experience together? Now, when it comes to manifesting money, you can write down specific amounts. When you write down specific amounts, it's also easier to keep track of, your progress and whether you actually were able to manifest it. But then you don't need an exact plan of how to get there. Unless this is something you already know or you have a certain plan. It is about being as detailed enough as still feels good to you, as still is believable to you. And if the how feels like a worry and you don't know how to get there, then in that case, you shouldn't worry about the how, because those are not making you feel like you already have the desire. So it is okay to script.
Never worry or stress about how stuff is gonna happen. Suggested approach to this whole stuff, man, is have fun with it. Replace the how with the have. Have fun with this shit. Cause trust me, and I'll just give my personal testimony. I wanted so hard because I was so much in my masculine energy. I tried so hard to manifest for years to get out of my situation in my reality, but it came from operating out of fear, operating out of lack, and operating out of desperation. But it showed itself in masculine form by aggression. You know what I'm saying? Trying to debo my way into the 4D, the 5D realm of dreams and imagination, trying to bully my way into manifesting. Like, hey, universe, I tried to bully the universe. Like, hey, bro, like, I take full authority. Like, you gonna do what I say, and you gonna show me what I want to be seen. And the universe was like, hey, bro, who you talking to, bro? Like, we all work together. Like, who you talking to, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't what it is. So, all right, you want to be a badass and try to bully me? I'm gonna show you what Zebo say. You know what I'm saying? Bullies get bullets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man. And it wasn't until I started lightening up, man. It wasn't until a lot of disappointments. When you get tired of getting disappointed, eventually you're gonna look and be like, all right, something's got to give. We got to talk about this. So it wasn't until I said, you know what, whether this stuff is true or not, whether I get what I actually want or not, I'm about to just have fun with it. Matter of fact, let me preoccupy my time with the 3D world, aka work. And I'm dehydrated, man. My lips, yeah, I need some chastity. Anyway, let me preoccupy myself with work. Let me stay busy. And when it comes to this whole manifesting thing, let me just have fun with it, bro. I'm not finna stress over nothing. I'm not finna, be thinking about none of this stuff, man. Let me have fun with this shit. So yeah, don't worry about how it's gonna happen, bro. Just replace the how with a have, and I would hope that have would be fun. Have fun with this shit.
specific scenarios as long as it makes you feel good and it is still believable for you. Now, I've definitely scripted things before where when I wrote them down, I was maybe like 80% convinced that that would happen. I was like, okay, well, this is a bold number. Is this really gonna happen? But let's just write it down. Let's put it to faith, right? And sometimes I even forgot about writing that specific number. And then reading it back a few months or a year later, when those things actually came into fruition, that's really when things started to click and my faith in this scripting grew. It is honestly, it does feel magical. That's the only way I can put it. And again, my favorite technique is writing letters to my future self, imagining me reading it back. But sometimes I'm also writing down things like, oh, I want this to happen in a year. I want that to happen in a year. How you word it is just about what makes you feel good. When it comes to manifesting specific relationships, you can definitely write scenarios about what you want to go through together or how someone makes you feel. And for example, with your dream job, you could script a meeting that you have with your colleagues where you're all agreeing on the same thing, or any scenario that you could think of that makes you feel good. It is really all about the feelings. Does it make you feel good? Does writing down desire make you feel happy and excited? And that should really be your guide.
That's another thing, man. Don't get so caught up in stress and worry again about manifesting and all of this to the point to where it start feeling like an obligation and not something fun to do, bro. If this starts to feel like a burden because you worried about, oh man, I didn't make a journal entry, I didn't make a manifesting attempt or effort today, man. Damn, all right, I gotta make sure I find some time to manifest. Man, nah, bro. Just allow the energy to free flow and just go with the flow. Try to stay in tune with your higher self. Try to stay in tune with your intuition and let that guide you. That's another thing. Me personally, I don't believe in friction and forcing anything, because I feel like friction and force is a sign from the universe, or a sign from the Most High, whoever you believe in, that says, hey, nah, this ain't the right time. Take the path of least resistance. But taking the path of least resistance doesn't mean that it's an easy path. You know what I'm saying? It's just path of least resistance. You want to make an effort to be in a constant state of flow, kind of like stoicism. You could do it if you want to. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's a suggestion.
For how detailed am I gonna go? So how often do I script my desires? Most times it's enough to just script a desire once and then fully leave it up to the universe, because the more often we script, the more we're actually being impatient and subconsciously asking the universe, when is this gonna happen for me? And when we ask questions like when, we're not in alignment and we're not in a receiving mode. However, if it still makes us feel good to script about our desires and it makes us feel excited, it is also okay to do it on maybe a weekly basis. As long as the feelings during the scripting feel like excitement and not like impatience. Now, the second stage in manifesting after you've done your scripting is going about your life, embodying the energy of your desire. What happens when you start to script desire is that you then will go about your life and you will start to see signs in your life. Signs of other people having your desire, or you have another synchronicity. Perhaps you encounter an article or a magazine that talks about something that you scripted about. And then it is really about being aware of those signs. The signs are put there to motivate you. Those signs indicate that you're on the way of getting into alignment with your desire. And how do you go about your life embodying the energy of your desire? Let's say, I go back to this example a lot, but if you want to be a millionaire, when you have this certain life decision in your life, ask yourself, what would millionaire, for example, Davy do? What would Davy do that already has the desire? And really start to pretend as if you already have it. Go about your day and
act as if. The law of assumption. You gotta, how they say, fake it till you make it. Now, my advice would be, because that's really what all this is about. Faking it until you make it, or fake it until it presents itself to you. Now, I think a safe way of doing it, if you have any doubts and fears of haters or being exposed or whatever, or just unwanted attention while you're trying to manifest, fake it till you make it, but keep that to yourself. Keep it in your head, like fake it till you make it, but don't let nobody know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't want the attention, if you don't like, you know, idea of being exposed or whatever. Like if you trying to get somewhere, you gotta fake it till you gotta already pretend that you are in your head and act, you know what I'm saying, with your actions as if, you know. Now if it's got something to do with money, I don't advise, you know what I'm saying, cashing out, you know, trying to impress people because in your mind you feel like a millionaire. Nah, keep the mentality, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, fake it till you make it, man. Fake it till you make it, but keep it to yourself.
Remind yourself sometimes, oh, I'm so happy I have my desire now. And walk around thinking you already have it. Acting out as if you already have it is a very good one as well. For example, when it comes to manifesting a certain amount of money, take a screenshot of your bank account and change the numbers. Edit the numbers in and really, you know, convince yourself that that is true. Look at it for a few seconds. And another important thing to do is, in any other aspect of your life, you need to cultivate that feeling of having the desire. Let's say you're trying to manifest a relationship or being in love. What else in your life makes you feel loved? What else in your life generates those loving feelings? It could be with friends, it could be with your family, or it could be watching a romantic movie. Do anything in your life that cultivates that same feeling. And when it comes to manifesting a certain amount of money or a certain achievement, be aware of the things that already make you feel like you achieved something. Practice gratefulness for the things you've already achieved. Really try to cultivate that feeling of achievement or the way you would feel once you would have the desire. And anything in your life that currently makes you happy.
Gratitude goes a long way. Gratitude will take you far. Gratitude is the perfect mirror energy, because the more gratitude you show to the universe, to the world, to any and everything that you attach yourself to, the more seeds are being planted to get a huge reward back in ways that you won't even know, that you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Just like it feels good to receive gratuity, to receive gratitude. Like, you're either, when you show gratitude, like let's say you're at a restaurant, if you're the person that just, you know, if you're the customer, you just received the best meal of your life, you're going to show gratitude. Or if you just got the best service of your life, you're going to show gratitude and appreciation in a big way based off of the experience. Now just imagine if it was flipped. Imagine that you gave a service, or that you was the one providing service, and you receive that gratitude back. Oh man, gratitude is one of the biggest reciprocal mirrors out there, because it's always going two different ways. You know, there is no harm. You don't take a loss by showing gratitude, because you wouldn't deny receiving huge amounts of gratitude especially if you needed it. So yeah. Stay self-aware of gratitude and appreciation. It'll take you a long way, man.
Or anything you go to that generates a happy feeling, really magnify those feelings, really romanticize and intensify all of the good things that are happening in your life, so that you're constantly in a good vibration or constantly in a more positive frequency, because this makes it more likely to manifest any good thing into your life. And again, when going about your life, ask yourself, what would the future version of me do that already had the desire? And in that way, you're acting out as if you already have the desire. You're embodying that energy. Now, the third step in the manifesting process is the detachment. We need to be in a relaxed, receiving energy. If we're being too controlling and too attached to our desire, we're not able to receive, because our hands are, you know, clenched. The easiest things that I manifested were things that I scripted, wrote down, forgot about a little bit, and then looked back at it later and was like, wait, hey, those things actually happened. How do you truly detach? Well, your level of detachment you can measure through your feelings, through your emotions. If you think about your desire and you still have a lot of questions like how, when is it gonna happen, how is it gonna happen, you're still too attached and in a lacking frequency and not in a receiving mode. And the detachment comes from faith. The detachment comes from knowing that it will happen. And in the beginning, especially when you're new to manifesting, this detachment is really hard because you've never successfully manifested things into your life. So where does this faith come from? And that's why I would recommend maybe manifesting smaller things first, smaller amounts of money that you would believe are possible for you, or smaller events like friendships before you start manifesting relationships, or a certain work achievement.
I'm just gonna speak on detachment real quick. I feel like I'm in a point in my life now to where detachment is easy. Matter of fact, detachment is so easy for me that I'm starting to become a little worried. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why detachment is so easy for me is because I operated a lot from the masculine energy, and since I never gotten the things that I wanted and the things that I desired, I grew frustrated, I grew hurt, I grew angry. So much so that I hated the fact that not getting what I want triggered emotions in me, and it made me feel lame. It made me feel like I didn't have control over my emotions and feelings. Because why do I feel so mad about not getting what I want? Like, why am I so triggered? And since I got tired of those feelings, because I'm still operating the masculine, since I got tired of those feelings, I simply developed, and I call it a fuck it switch. But my fuck it switch is a detachment switch. So anytime I start to feel undesired emotions about anything, I turn on my fuck it switch and I immediately become detached. So since I learned how to detach, period, or in general, it has helped me when it comes to now manifesting, like she said. But my detachment skills came not because I have faith. That's what I'm learning now, to have faith by restructuring my beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning how to have faith, but I think one of the positive things for me is I already know how to detach in general. I already have a detachment switch that I call the fuck it switch. So now as I'm manifesting, when it's time to detach from my desire, I just turn on my fuck it switch, but I transform the energy from negative to positive. It's like, all right, well, I don't have a negative feeling about manifesting anymore. So now I can still detach, and then I can just have fun and wait and see if it happens. But I'm already detached from my feelings and emotions of it. So yeah, I don't advise going through a journey like I did when it comes to learning how to detach, because it's been a hell of a journey. But yeah, detachment, yeah, it's cool, because right now I'm hoping that it increases my faith, but I'm detached from the overall outcome. I'm having fun with it, so we're going to see how that turns out. I'm going to keep y'all, you know what I'm saying, updated on my journey,
instead of directly trying to manifest your dream job. And once those come into fruition, you've scripted those and they come true, that's when you grow your faith. And that's when it becomes easier and easier to detach in the future, because you're like, I know that the things that I manifest into my life will come into my life. And I know that if I stay too attached, things will not come. So I let go and I let God. I put my faith in the plan of the universe. I know that I need to not worry about the how or the exact details. I just need to express my desire and how I want to feel. And throughout my emotions, I can exactly feel how detached or attached I am. If I think about my desire and I'm like, oh, when is it gonna happen for me? I am too attached. When you ask questions like when and how, you're too attached. And in that case, I tell myself, it doesn't matter when and it doesn't matter how, because I know it will eventually happen, and that is enough. And I just let it go. When you try to get from one destination to another, you don't have to know the full route. You just have to look at what is in front of you and use your intuition to guide you based on what feels good to you. And even failure or setbacks, understand that those are growth opportunities. Those are meant to level you up to having your desire. Because if you're living in current poor life circumstances and you're trying to be much wealthier, you can imagine this requires a certain training, this requires certain changes made in your life. And the setbacks and the failures is what are our growth opportunities in order to get to the next level. But always hold faith that eventually the manifestation will come in. And don't worry too much about how long it's gonna take, because time is a human perception concept anyway. If you can hold an image in your mind, that means there is a reality that exists where you have that desire. All you need to do is make sure that your feelings and emotions align with the feeling of having the desire, and then it will come into your life eventually. Thank you so much for watching my video. Let me know in the comments if you learned something, or leave me a like and subscribe to my channel.
All right, man. I zoned out right towards the end because I'm thinking about so much other stuff that I'm ready to manifest my... Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let me wash my mouth. Yeah, man. Hey, let me know what y'all thoughts are. You know what I'm saying, in the comments, man. What are your thoughts on scripting and you know, or just give your, you know what? Not what are your thoughts on all of this, but give your tips. You know what I'm saying? Share some of your tips in the comment section on what has helped you. What tools have you used? What has helped you manifest on your journey? Do you use a journal? Do you use a vision board? Do you just keep a mental note? Do you keep audio notes of stuff that you want to manifest? Just, you know, leave in the comment section, man, for somebody. It might help me out, or for anybody, some of your tips and tools that you use to manifest, and what has helped you, and what has been some of the ups and downs on your journey of manifesting. And yeah, we out, man. It's Camp HutcH. Yes, sir.